was terrible.
The first one was so good, except like the only scene anyone ever remembers is the scene where she jumps up and kicks the zombie dog in the face.
I remember that scene.
Yeah, everyone remembers that scene.
I like those movies, but only because I never knew anything about Resident Evil aside from those movies. So with no knowledge of it, they were kind of cool. But after looking back and learning about Resident Evil, you're like, wow, what a piece of fucking shit.
Right. It's like Final Fantasy Spirits Within. Never knowing Final Fantasy or playing the games, you're like, wow, this movie's fucking nutty. Oh, I can't wait to play the games. And you're like, wow, that movie was shit.
Wow, what the fuck? What did they
There's
do?
cutscenes in the game that are better than that whole movie. How is that possible?
Yeah. It's surprising when video games just do that shit, blows away movies, and they
try. You mean like the best video game movie, the Mario movie?
It was so good.
I take your Mario movie and I counteract.
I see you, Hitman.
Yes, I see your Mario movie, and I counteract with, what was that horrible video game movie?
Oh boy, that's not vague. That one horrible video game movie.
No.
There's not like a lot of them.
Don't do it. Stop it. I will get it.
I'm not saying anything. I'm telling you. I'm just saying that's not vague. I'm making fun of you. That one bad video game movie.
The last. No. Yeah, The Last Starfighter. That movie was fucking shit. You never see? Well, of course, it's too old for you.
Say.
What is it?
The Last Starfighter. It's literally a kid.
Starfighter and raise you a hitman.
A kid goes. He wants to win a Nintendo Power Glove. So he plays this game. It's called The Last Starfighter. And he's so good that he actually gets picked up by the Intergalactic Federation of Planets because it was actually a training simulation for their Starfighter. And they only have one left. And so this kid becomes the last Starfighter using the Power Glove.
You should do like intros for trailers, honestly. You're like your enthusiasm for like the very generic is just so great.
You know, if I got teleported back to the 90s, I could do it.
Yeah.
Everything was wrong. Yeah. Rob Schneider was just a guy.
Boom! Oh, good. Like, I can totally see it.
Rob Schneider was just a man, and then one day he woke up and he was a carrot.
He was a toaster.
And soon he'll find out the life of his toaster is not all it's cracked up to be.
I don't think that analogy works with a toaster.
No, but if his life was... He woke up as an egg. And life as an egg isn't all that it's cracked up to be.
This fall, Rob Schneider is Humpty Dumpty.
Oh my god.
Rated PG-13.
Rob Schneider, the only actor that we can ever hire.
Oh. Back to topic. Yeah, I know, right? I mean,
they're so bad.
Let's move it forward a bit to like something so that the Grease Goblin can keep up with us. Let's go modern good slasher films.
I found the Babysitter one's pretty good so far.
I've never heard of it.
I feel
it's like a Netflix one.
Never mind, I haven't seen it.
It's like babysitter, basic setup, but the babysitter's the slasher.
I feel like I've seen this movie, but not like on Netflix. I mean, like 20 years ago.
Yeah, probably.
It's just how old the plot is.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
I want to see the slasher movie where it's the dog or it's the cat. It's literally a cat.
That's called Pet Sematary.
Cat. Yeah, they've done that.
No,
already.
Pet Sematary is nothing to do.
You know,
with that.
if you really want to see a crazy
The new one
slasher
is.
movie about insane horror, you know what you need to see? The one about the killer tire.
Oh, Rubber.
Rubber. That's what it is. I didn't know what it was
Rubber.
called.
Oh my
Wait.
god, it's so good. And it
Is it? I've
has
never seen it. I just
psychic
was like,
powers and it explodes people's heads. Oh, if you've never seen it, it's so
No.
good.
Or I've never seen it. I was just making a
Oh
joke.
fuck.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
It's such a
Clearly from
stupid
the
movie,
most
but
like
dude,
so
creative
good.
like corner of Hollywood.
And there's a scene.
The movie about a suicidal a
Dude,
serial killer.
You want to talk about some obscure horror movies that are actually good? Oh, we lost the Grease Goblin, and now it messed up my sign.
Wow.
I was gonna say, if you want to talk about some horror movies that were actually really good, like some really supposed to be shitty horror movies, like one of my favorites, fucking, so damn it, that ruined me. Him dropping and now me fixing this has
The whole
ruined my
line of
train
thought
of
is
thought.
gone.
It ruined my train of thought.
It's all gone.
Ah,
That's too funny.
that is too funny.
Well, it wasn't important anyways.
It
It's
wasn't.
usual.
God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know. One of a really good movie, like horror movie I saw a while back too, was this movie called Blood Creek. It was really stupid, honest. It was so funny. I ended up I watched it a few times and then I showed it to my friends. And one of my friends had he has this thing for blood. Like if he sees blood, he is gonna throw up. And I'm like, oh, let's watch this movie. And he's like, oh, it's called Blood Creek. Is there blood in it? I'm like, probably not that much. I'm like, I don't really remember. I'm gonna be honest. And I think in the first literally 10 minutes of the movie, there's a paramedic stopping this man's carotid artery from exploding all over it himself. It's in the middle of a gunfight or something like that. It's yeah. He immediately jumped out. It was so funny. I was trying not to laugh, but I was stupid because I was dumb and I didn't
Thank you. I
Didn't put it
remembered the
together.
movie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Attack the Block. Anyone see that movie?
No.
Is that not the Asian one? The Asian movie? Kind of.
It's based in London.
Okay, not the same one.
It's by the.
Doesn't sound the same.
All right, so from the brain of I always forget their names, but the guy who did Shaun of the Dead, the blonde guy and the fat guy, Sean Penn and the fat guy. The fat guy and the British guy. They're both British. They did Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
We can imagine them. We can picture them in our heads. I hope everyone out there.
Yeah.
We're not prepared enough to have a picture for him. Were you?
Anyway, so from their minds, the story is it's about a bunch of 15, 16-year-olds who are little gangsters in the I don't know what part of London because I don't know London that well, but the poor part, we'll just say. Someone from London in the chat or someone out there can correct me. What area that would be? I don't know. Anyway,
where the poor people hang out.
Anyway, so the point is
lower class citizens.
They're out, being dumb shits in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden they see
lower class citizens doing dumb shit things.
I wish I could throw things at you.
I know you do.
They're out there, and all of a sudden these giant fur balls fall out of the sky. Well, these meteorites come and they open it, and they're this fluorescent green, like the Grease Goblin's shirt. And inside of these black fur balls, just pitch black. But when they open their mouth, it's the same green as that. Or blue, blue. The same blue. And they look like these gorilla aliens. And they just start literally invading. And it's beautifully done. They crawl up the walls and run on the roof. And the special effects are really good. And it's kind of funny because you get some pretty good comedic performances, but there's a lot of tension, and it's just about these. It looked like it was supposed to. It looks like it should have been a bad movie, if you watch it, but it's so well done that it's impossible for it to be bad. One of my favorite scenes is there's this nice lady who lives on the block, and all the kids just run into her house trying to escape from these demons. Like they literally just kick open her door and run in there. And she's like, "What the hell?" And they explain to her what's going on. She sees them, because they don't know it's aliens yet. And she's like, "What do we do? What do we do?" And they're like, "Wait, let's go to Ron's weed room." Yeah, Ron's weed room. And then she looks around and she's like, "What's Ron's weed room? Where's that?" And they're like, "Oh my god, it's the safest place in the entire block." "All right, what is it?" It's a giant room. It's full of weed, and it's Ron's." And she just looks at them, and she's like, "That's all the explanation I'm gonna get, aren't I?" And then it's so good, like it's really good. I would suggest if you've never seen Attack the Block, take time out of your day.
It's been a while since I've seen like a good horror movie. I was thinking of checking out that Candyman. I think the most recent one I've seen was that Forever Purge they recently did, which all the Purge movies have been really not good.
Dude, I could give you lists of like modern to older horror movies. They're all good.
Willy's Wonderland was really good.
You thought it was good?
Is it a horror movie?
No.
So stupid. It was good.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
How
That
many
sounds
lines
about
do
right.
you think Nicolas Cage had in that movie?
Oh, Nicolas Cage is in it? That already sets
He's
it
the
down.
main character. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Caden, how many lines do you think he had in that movie?
So it's like a C or D movie.
One. He had
Like 5, maybe.
that or he was all the lines and no one else had a speaking part.
Yeah.
it's just
Like National Treasure.
the 20 Shades of Nicolas Cage.
No, that's The Color from Space.
Nicolas Cage is just insane. They could just do a horror movie about living his life.
I think they did.
No, that's being John Malkovich.
Yeah, but I think there's also a movie that's just about Nicolas Cage's life and how it would be.
You know what they need to do? They need to make a horror movie about actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
You know what would be better? A horror movie about Danny DeVito.
You don't know about actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf?
I do.
No, I'm talking to John.
No.
Oh my god. Oh man, you don't know what you're missing out on.
Uh,
For those who do know what actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf is, it's a wonderful song. It's a song about Shia LaBeouf.
is it the one where they did it in the orchestra? Where he's sitting?
I think so, actually.
yeah, okay, I've heard that song before.
Yeah, where there's an actual...
Running
at
through
the
the
end,
night,
he stands up and he starts
Shia
clapping.
LaBeouf.
Yeah, actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Yes, okay.
That's what I mean. They need to make a movie of that.
Oh my god, just Shia LaBeouf standing in the corner staring at people. Just hear that music starting to play. Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
He's there staring at you. And then he bounces.
Oh my god.
Shia LaBeouf.
Actual good horror movies though. Like a good one that one that I'm trying to think. Like, do you want a recent? Wait. Do you want a recent one, or do you want one from the past? Because I've told you Night Watch already.
Recent ones.
Recent, good recent one. Blah 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 blah.
Midsummer was good.
Seen that blah blah blah.
Midsummer? No, that wasn't.
Yeah,
that wasn't that. That wasn't a horror movie.
Never.
yeah, because it was set during the day the whole time.
That shouldn't matter. Ooh. Problem is not many movies have come out recently. So
That's why I'm asking. I'm curious if what you would think is a good recent one.
I mean, the first one that comes to mind is I'm trying to think of the name. The one with all the clones that live underground.
Us.
Thank you. Us is
We
really
spoke
good.
about this last week.
Yeah, Us was really good.
The
other one that he did was really good. It depends. Are you looking for like psychological?
Good recent horror movies. Doesn't matter what kind.
I mean, technically, Saw just put a new one out. Not one.
That Spiral
Yeah.
movie. I don't know.
Spiral.
I don't know if it was good or not.
It's it's not good.
That's why I like recent movies are hard to come up with a good one. That's why I'm curious.
There's Candyman. People
To
say
be
it's all
to be
right.
fair, it's hard to find like good movies. Like the real movies that stand the test of time don't come out very often.
Don't breathe.
If the Forever Purge didn't
I'll
get
breathe.
so
I don't know if that
political,
would
it
ever
would have been
really
better.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, I think if it wasn't so political, it could have been. It wasn't. It wasn't bad in the way of the movie.
You don't need politics in your horror. I mean, a little bit. Like it was already like a
They
little.
should have
bit,
just. They
like,
should have just had it
politicky
become like a
with
bad ending where the entire country fell apart and now everything is anarchy. That would have been fun. That would have been a good
Yeah.
ending.
I agree. Okay, we agree on the same thing. That's hilarious.
instead
Sausage
of,
Party
like,
was a good
Like
horror.
the ending wasn't great.
That was not a horror movie.
By the end, it was.
Definitely not.
You ever seen Skeleton Key?
Yes, that was a good movie.
Not too.
Is that your most recent one you can think of? Because that one was like 2006.
I was gonna say that's
2004.
not too recent.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's also one that not many people talk about. What a great movie!
That's what I mean. Like, it's hard to really think of good recent horror movies.
Because the ones that
The Visit was good.
The Visit. I don't even
Yeah,
know
The
what that
Visit.
is.
Grandparents or kids go visit their grandparents.
That was not a good movie. That
I
was
enjoyed it.
definitely not a good movie.
Oh, I got one. The one with the whole family that just had animal masks. And
The weird. Yeah, we talked about that one before, where
I don't even know
there were
what
like
it was called.
different versions of themselves, and they wore masks, and they were like, it was essentially. I think Jeremy watched it. It was
no wrong movie.
no.
This movie is it's based on a true story. It's only like 5 or
That's
6
usually how every
years
horror movie
old.
starts out.
It's just about a random home invasion. These
Oh,
The Strangers.
strangers,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a good one.
It's just about a random home invasion. Nothing supernatural about it. These
Yep.
people just randomly showed up, and I think that was based on a true story, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean,
think
it's
so.
it's hard to really base a horror movie off, a true story.
But that was a good movie, right?
Two people dead, and then it was a good movie. I mean, you
Wow,
could do that on
2008.
literally any movie.
Oh, we're still
Yeah.
not in recent territory.
Not within 10 years.
Gerald's Game.
Never heard of that.
It's a Mike Flanagan movie.
I have no idea.
Husband dies during sex games, and
That already
handcuffed
sounds
to a
bad.
bed.
That sounds awful right off the start.
I mean, technically, on some level, Squid Game's a horror.
Yeah,
Okay, It Follows.
I guess.
Great.
that
great.
one was.
That one sounds familiar. I don't know.
I'm
It's
still.
horror, like psychological, anyway.
I just want one that's at least in the last 5 years that isn't like
Yeah, all the good ones that I can kind of think of are like a lot older. Like the only
something
one I'm
tells
thinking
me
of right
It
now
Follows
is
is 2014. Oh, I was close.
That one's kind of close.
that one's
It's at least
close.
within the 10 years. Escape? I don't think it's.
Yeah. It exactly what it sounds like. 6 strangers are stuck in a stranger or an escape room
Yes,
with
Saw
deadly
2.
mysteries.
Saw 2. Yes, I remember that movie.
Sawtooth.
In the tall grass.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Man, it's hard, man. Because if you think
It
about
is.
actual horror movies, like in history, like some of them, like they'd always come out like every 4 or 5 years. It's never in succession.
Yeah, in
We
the
just-
past, like probably 10 years, they released so many with like such vague weird concepts.
It's just because they syndicate them. It's like, oh, we have one good
Yeah.
premise. Let's run 50 movies of the same premise.
Yeah,
Oh, what about Cam?
that one was okay. I kind of
Yeah,
know which one.
and
It
that's
wasn't
a
really
recent
good.
one.
It wasn't really good, but it was alright.
Yeah.
Sinister, I think, was one that I heard was pretty okay, but I don't know if that was a recent one.
Hereditary was really good.
I don't think I've heard of that.
Really well done.
Everyone talked about it and I haven't seen it.
The original one that spawned off of like the Annabelle movie. I don't remember
Insidious?
the
The,
first.
the Conjuring.
Not the Conjuring. The Conjuring, that was the one. Not Insidious. The Conjuring came from it was Insidious was like it was the people that came to help those people, and The Conjuring was about those people that came to help, what they had come from and where they had gone through. It was like a pre-sequel kind of, but it was really good. Insidious was not so good.
Await Further Instructions was also really good.
I don't think I heard that one.
Family
You're really a lot of these ones that you're throwing are very obscure that I've never heard of.
Yeah. And that's where you find the good horror movies.
No,
I mean, does Parasite count as a horror movie?
I think I've
Which
heard
one?
that one. There's like is that
The
like
Korean
the
one.
Korean one? Yeah. That
that one was. I'd say so.
Does that count as a horror movie?
I've been wanting to watch that one, but I haven't.
I
I've heard it
counted
was
as a
really
horror drama.
good.
That's what I was gonna say. It was more drama, but
I'd say
like
both.
that movie was really good. Okay, there you go.
It was.
Finally, I finally thought of one. Jesus.
I'm
Parasite.
gonna have to sit here and look up a list of.
Although Parasite, the anime is just as good, and I will never
Oh,
discount
yeah.
Parasite.
And then the live action one was not good.
There's never been a good live action anime, and
I mean, Death Note was
Dude.
really good.
I'm
So
so
good,
mad. I watched. Speaking on that, just a tangent. I watched the released content for Cowboy Bebop. I am extremely unexcited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what a surprise!
No, like Cowboy, like they. Yeah, no. It's hard to explain unless you've watched Cowboy Bebop. They've made it more silly.
Live action.
They made it more silly. Cowboy Bebop was a little silly, like very, very little, just enough to make it like fun. But they mostly they really lead into the very very drama and story heavy plot lines, and like this I don't know. It looks like they leaned way too much into the silly factor, and that kind of ruins it for me, which sucks. Although if they had done it for Lupin, like if they had made this series Lupin, I would have loved it, because Lupin is all about just being stupid, over the top, and silly. But that being said,
I've never seen them, to be honest. Man, looking up like a list of like different horror movies. I've never seen any of these.
That's how out of the loop you are. Living in the middle.
They're all just so bad, dude. Like, there's not a lot of good horror movies anymore. Like, why would I want to waste my time watching these fucking garbage? Like, The Wizard Hunter?
So fucking
Air disturbance? Excuse me? Who fucking cares?
There was
like, these...
a disturbance.
There's an entity on an airplane. Oh, spooky.
The happening. What is happening?
Yeah.
Oh my god, is it happening?
It's a concept for a movie. Yeah. Trees are trying to kill you.
I think M. Night Shyamalan wrote that end before they even ended film.
Probably, yeah. He had an ending in mind, and
as
then
they
we
were
got to
shooting the movie.
out the rest of the ending.
I bet you they got halfway through shooting. They're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we need the last half of the script, M. Night. We need to know how it ends." And he's like,
"Oh, the other half? Oh, yeah, I'll get right on that."
He like looks around. He's like, "It's the trees. It's the trees the whole time." It's like, is that why you made him a biology? Yeah, that's exactly why I made him a biology teacher. The trees.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, you shot that part at the beginning, right? Like the part where he tells them about the fact that trees can do this thing that's not true at all." Oh no! Oh, bro, you better shoot that so I look smart.
Yeah, let's go do the thing. Yep.
Let's go do the thing now, quickly, please.
Man, this list is just awful. That I'm looking at. It's like a list from like 2013 to 2020 of horror movies. And they're all kind of varying spread out, but I've just gone through like 100, and they're
to varying degrees of bad to worse.
Yeah, and they're all just so generic. Like every, like an asylum, or like vampires, or like an accident caused someone, ghosts, or like
ghosts.
It's hard to really get, I guess, a horror movie that the concept hasn't already been played out on.
I mean, Tusk.
But that's what I mean. Like, to play up on it further, right? Like,
tell me another horror movie that is like
Frankenstein's. A young man
Human
travels back
Centipede.
in time, find himself entrenched in a civil war with an army of Frankensteins. This is a horror movie from 2013.
I haven't seen that one.
Wait, but Frankenstein is the doctor, so it's an army of
Yeah.
doctors.
I guess I
Not,
didn't.
not Frankenstein's monster,
Well,
right?
I'm gonna be
it's
honest. The
Frankenstein.
picture looks like the monsters. It looks like zombies. Honestly,
But that
It looks
doesn't
like
make
Nazi
sense
zombies.
because Frankenstein was the doctor, so it'd be an army of doctors.
I didn't write this. I'm telling you. I'm just looking at this
An
list.
army.
Do you understand now how bad this list is just from me saying that one item? Like the other 100 items on here that are just as bad.
I just don't understand how you'd be a script writer or a writer and write about like horror movies and like Frankenstein's monster and
Oh, you mean writing about the happening in the trees that don't do things? You know, like
M. Night Shyamalan, for all the hate we give him, he did do good movies. I mean, Unbreakable, great movie. The Sixth Sense, great movie. Split,
The Last
great
Airbender,
movie.
great movie.
All right.
I mean,
so on that
one of them it was
Grease
pretty
Goblin
bad.
is
I
going to
really
hit
I
me.
really liked The Village, even though it was really bad. Like I enjoyed it for what it was.
Never mind, I'm muting both of you.
That was like my first M. Night Shyamalan movie.
That is one of the few movies in my life in the movie theater. I
No, it was
literally
awful.
guessed the ending in the first 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, I guess I did too. I actually did too.
And I did it
Like,
out loud, like accidentally. I was like, oh, I bet you
It's
they
the old
just kind of. And I was like, oh, I bet you they're just fucking cut off from civilization and they're just being forced to stay in a medieval village. And some girl was like, shh. And then at the end, when they revealed that and they saw the car, I was like, I fucking called it in the movie theater.
What a surprise! Who would have seen the twist?
Wow.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't believe it. The worst part was that I remember thinking about it after. I'm like, I actually sat through that whole movie. I could have left halfway through. I
I already knew what was happening.
I guessed the end. Like,
The only thing that I liked about it was the weird like outfit thing that they were wearing was actually looked kind of cool. It looked kind of spooky, but other than that,
except
it was,
like in
really
like
awful.
regular human eyes, you could easily see through. Like,
Yeah. After like once you got to see their face, because that was something they didn't lean until like near the end, right? Then you could actually didn't see their.
no,
faces
that's just
very
movie
well.
lighting. Like anyone who looks at a mask can see through the eye holes.
Yeah.
There's not dynamic lighting in life. A lot of
Well, I
people
know,
see
but
through.
you didn't in the movie itself. They didn't really show off the face of the creature.
Well, yeah, but I'm just
So
talking
later
about
on.
in reality. There's no way.
No, I found Army of the Dead. I never watched that movie, but I don't know if that's a good one. Following a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries take the ultimate gamble, venturing
Nope.
into the quarantine zone to pull off the
Nope.
greatest heist ever
No,
attempted. Sounds awful.
it's really bad.
Sounds awful.
That being said, we're at the hour. We're gonna end it here. If
An
you're
hour of awful movies.
with us live right now and not watching on the podcast, we're going to continue on with the first ever take of the Elusive Gentleman's Tavern Tales.
Catch
that's
you out
gonna-
on YouTube, hopefully.
That's hopefully that'll be up on YouTube if you want to catch
Yeah,
it
you
there. Otherwise, we're gonna do a little for people watching live. We're gonna do a send off, but we're not going anywhere because we're gonna start right away. This is just for the people out in the podcast who are listening to me now, so they know that the end is here and the
Hopefully the
stuff.
episode has already ended, so they're not
Yeah,
hearing this anyway.
so
They'll be seeing this on the YouTube.
If
I mean,
you're-
so this intro's already been cut. What you're seeing right now is Twitch
if
exclusive.
you're
behind the
listening
scenes.
on the podcast, thank you. I'm sorry you had nothing better to do, but thank you for watching. I was C4 with the Elusive Gentleman,
He was
Insanieac,
C4.
and the
He
Great
no longer
Grease
C4
Goblin.
anymore.
Catch us
I'm not Insanieac anymore.
live on Wednesdays at C4
And I think we broke
at
them.
Twitch and things, or next Tuesday, Thursday.
Stuff.
new episodes.
Check out
God,
social medias.
Sometimes
like,
I'm going
subscribe.
to strangle you, and otherwise,
I'm sorry, am I interrupting you?
we
Tell me
will
more
see you
about how
next
it-
week. But if you are watching live, you will see us in literally 5 seconds.
Check out the
Check
social
us out on
medias.
Buzzsprout and all that
Peace.
too.